Recording.
Good evening, guest and fellow Toastmaster. A warm welcome to meeting number 40 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmaster Club. I'm Toastmaster Muskan Rahman, your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. As a sergeant at arms, it's my duty to highlight some key points for the meeting. The meeting is blocked for 2 hours. I'm urging to stay for the entire duration to get the maximum benefit of it. Your video should be on and audio should be off, and unmute yourself when you are called to speak or need to speak. Regarding the topic of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmaster International does not put any restriction on speaking on these topics, at the Gap Beast Toastmaster Club, we request all speakers and role takers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, result in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me now hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita, who will take us through the proceeding of the day. But before that, for the benefit of our guests and visiting Toastmaster, let me here are a few words of introduction about Toastmaster Samita. Toastmaster Samita is a dynamic soft skills trainer with a dream of empowered women leaders. She boosts confidence, communication, and career. An avid storyteller and passionate traveler, her suitcase is full of stories from bathing elephant in Sri Lanka to exploring the ruin of Lananda. Currently, she is serving as president of Gabby's online advanced Toastmaster Club. Virtual stage is all yours, Toastmaster Samita.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let us hear it for our Sergeant at Arm for her energetic start to the meeting, and that too right on time. With this, I declare the Gabby's Online Advanced Toastmaster Club, Area B2, District 92, meeting number 40, open. I welcome all the members of our club, all the visiting Toastmasters, and guests to our meeting today. I request all of you to please be on camera and quickly take that 30 seconds to rename yourself if you are a role taker. Speaker number 1, speaker number 2, speaker number 3, please rename yourself. Timer, please rename yourself. Just quick 30 seconds. Done? Okay. If you want, we can help you out. There is 3 dots in the corner which you can just take your cursor there. You get a rename option and you can rename yourself. I request all of you to stay till the end of the meeting, and we will definitely love to hear from you. What can we do to improve our meeting? Gabbys is a family of 2 clubs, and we always love when our members come back. So today we have, do we have Toastmaster Joanne? No, she's not there, but in her absence, we will welcome Toastmaster Joanne Joseph to our club. Joanne is an old member who is coming back. She is a member who is very passionate about Toastmasters, and she takes up a role, especially the role of evaluator. She has been winning awards in the area divisional, district and divisional level. We welcome her in her absence today. The beauty of Toastmasters is that when Ralph C. Smedley formed the idea, he wanted everyone to hone their skill on communication and leadership. 100 years down the line, we are still following the same. We are making sure that we can communicate effectively and we have those leadership skills to take our clubs forward, not only in Toastmaster, but in our personal spaces also. Toastmasters meeting is very interesting. And in this meeting, we have someone who takes us through the meeting. And that person today is a chartered accountant with a diploma in IFRS. She brings over a decade of experience in financial reporting and finance operation. She is currently a senior manager at EY and worked across global markets. A passionate learner and problem solver, beyond work, she enjoys traveling and dancing. And she has brought today an amazing topic, which we all will relate to. Please put your hands together for the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Inderpal Chadda. Over to you.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Toastmaster Samita Kark. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So today, our theme and our topic is, and I would call you, it's a season. Considering the topic is interesting from that point of view. It's linear TV versus on demand. So just to explain, linear TV is our traditional TV that we all have been watching, and TV has been a gateway for us in terms of entertainment, culture, and news. And we all have been hooked by TV since long back, since that era where we were watching either Doordarshan, cable TV, Airtel, Dish TV, etc. So we all have been waiting, whether it was a Chitrahar night on Friday or whether it was a movie night on Sunday or either a Mahabharat that we all used to sit together and watch together. But the era has changed. Definitely, that time was we had to see what was broadcasted and when it was broadcasted, and we didn't have any choice other than waiting for another episode to come next week. But today the era has definitely changed. So it is on demand TV, which is on the OTT platform, which is your over the top platforms like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hotstar, etc. That has changed and revolutionized the content that we now watch on TV. And it has definitely read our interest, our taste, and given us a lot of freedom in terms of personalization and content that we want to watch. It has also taken away our remote control because it runs on the apps and algorithms, and it shows what we really want to watch too. So definitely introduce like the binge watching theory, where we keep on watching and watching and we don't stop until unless it's our midnight and we call it a day, and then we stop watching. So with that, I would want all of you to reflect with a quick show of hands. Tell me, are you someone who misses the charm of waiting for a weekly episode, or do you love the binge watching culture where the whole season drop at once? So anybody who would like to talk about it? Yeah, Toastmaster Muskan.
Uh, I can't choose actually. The topic that you choose, it's something that we can't say, I like this, that we are getting one episode at a time and getting the full whole thing at the same time. So I love the both of them, but yes, the curiosity of getting that I have to watch that thing in the next weekend is something that's make me die from inside. So I would suggest that it's dropped at the same time, everything to the final.
I know. I think you cannot relate to that culture where I have been brought up, and we used to wait for that episode to come the next week or next Sunday or next. Maybe sometimes it can be alternate week also. Anybody else who wants to attempt?
Yes, I would like to say. So I would definitely select the traditional linear TV, because more than watching the program, it meant the entire family came together. And I used to stay in a joint family. So we were 12, 13 of us sitting together in one room and watching the episode. So that was super fun. So I really miss those days.
And really true, and Toastmaster Rashmi. I can also say that like this has definitely made us all secluded in a way that obviously everybody has a different choice, different taste, and we all want to watch different content. So at times, we are not able to sit in the same room. We watch it on our own iPad or on our own phone sometimes to watch different, because obviously everything cannot be run in the same room. So it has definitely created that scenario. And I would want to share some stat also. The streaming has taken huge share of viewership. 70% of the people, they are into this binge watching show. So what do you think in terms of this linear TV, whether it has to evolutionize in a way that it's going on, or are we witnessing the end of the linear TV?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
I think so. We are witnessing the end of linear TV. The comfort of watching all the episodes together, because today the episodes are a cliffhanger at every point. You would love to. And secondly, because the lifestyle that we have over a weekend, we would love to complete. And the generation that we are in, we don't like to wait for anything. Instant gratification is what we want. I feel that, yes, the good old days of watching one episode per week has gone.
Yeah, definitely agree. I chose the topic because I was working on one transaction where they had both the things. Like they had the streaming business, which is the OTT platform, and then they had the linear TV as well, which is your the channels through cable network. And definitely that was going in a very negative profitability. The margins were declining. They had very high debt and all. And at the same time, the other business was blooming and growing and all that. And I have few stats also to share, which I'll share later. But definitely, I feel like if these linear TV, they are running still at our homes. Like my mom, she enjoys watching those TV. She understands that kind of thing. So for them to switch to this culture where they can look into and start choosing the content, I think that is something she will never understand. So I think there's still some generation and people, they are hooked to it, and that's how it's running. And somewhere it's cost effective too. Like for example, in hotel industry and all, they're able to package it together and they are able to sell it in that way. So it's still running, but I definitely feel that they have to come up with some kind of change to take it further. Yeah. So with that, I'll say that like TV has evolved, Toastmaster definitely help us to evolve, moving from structured speeches to flexible to personalized learning path. And there is no one path that fits all. We all have a lot of choices to select different paths. And I can explain the structure of the meeting. So today we have 3 episodes in this season. So we have one is the prepared speech, where we have 3 speakers today. So it's a bigger show. So let's get hooked to the whole episode for the prepared speeches, which is followed by table topics, where everybody will get a chance and moment to speak and talk about the topic that's given to them. And then the last section is the evaluation section, where we will get comprehensive feedback. So with that, I will invite our general evaluator today, who is no other than Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. So she is a certified soft skill and posh trainer, an inspiring image consultant, a triple crown winner and pathbreaker. She is deeply passionate about connecting with people, understanding their stories, empowering them to grow through meaningful conversation. Beyond her personal work, she enjoys cooking, gardening, that help us stay centered. So over to you, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, for the evaluation, explain us the evaluation rules and the team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Gabbys and dear guests. Well, the agenda and the structure of the meeting, you all must be aware of, right? You must have received that document in the chat. So that is much like the linear TV that TMOD of the day, the Toastmaster of the day was talking about. It is planned, it is timed, it is flowing in a sequence, right? And it is my role as the general evaluator today to observe how this meeting, this broadcast in particular, runs, whether the transitions are seamless, the timing is respected, and the overall experience feels cohesive to everyone. Now comes the magic of on-demand TV. Well, the personalization comes here and the choices come here when we are getting acquainted with our TEL team. Because what I am doing today as general evaluator, so my TEL team is going to support me in that. To begin with, I have the timer with me. The timer happens to be the sergeant at arms of our meeting today. So she is none other than Toastmaster Muskan. Toastmaster Muskan, can you please help us know about your role?
Yeah. So, as a timer for today's meeting, my role is to ensure we stay within our rhythmic boundaries so that every speaker has their moment to shine without chipping away at the next person's time. So, I will be using the following signals for our various sessions. For the prepared speeches, I will be showing green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and red card at 7 minutes. For the table topic section, I'll be showing green card at 1 minute. Uh, no, sorry, actually, I'll be showing red card because today is the debate session. So I'll be only showing the red card once your time is over. And for the evaluation, I'll be showing you the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, red card at 3 minutes. I'll be present when upon call by our general evaluator at the end of the meeting. I will show you the report. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Muskan, for that quick and crisp introduction of your role. And for the benefit of the guests and the Gabbys members here, I would just like to read out her introduction because we all miss who our Sergeant at Arms is actually. She's a freshly graduate BCA student who enjoys exploring creativity and communication. She has also worked in Tollywood industries and enjoys dancing and modeling. That was the timer of the day and the sergeant at arms. Now it is time for the language evaluator for today, Toastmaster Harshal Yadav. Toastmaster Harshal, could you please help us with your role?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the language evaluator for today, I will be paying close attention to the use of language throughout the meeting. I will be taking note of filler words, inappropriate interjections, and unnecessary repetitions, while also highlighting any noteworthy use of language. I will present my report once called upon by the General Evaluator and towards the end of the meeting. As the language evaluator, I have the privilege to share the word of the day. The word of the day is coherent. Coherent means clear, logical, and easy to understand. For example, despite the complexity, he gave a coherent explanation that made everything simple. Another example would be she organized her ideas in a coherent way, so there was no confusion at all. I'll also share the word of the day in the chat for everyone's reference. Please try to use the word of the day as much as possible. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harshal, for that crisp introduction and the coherent explanation of your role. Now it is time to meet the listener of the day. Yes, the listener of the day today is Toastmaster Yamini Lakshmipati. Toastmaster Yamini Lakshmipati, she's an entrepreneur, a chartered accountant, and she represents a growing breed at the Gabbys, growing breed of professionals who combine business ownership with financial expertise and a strong drive for impact. Her decisions to join Gabbys reflects a clear intent to complement her technical and entrepreneurial strengths with powerful communication and leadership skills. Over to you, Toastmaster Yamini, for a quick introduction of your role.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, Toastmasters and fellow guests. So, as a listener of the day, I will be paying close attention to everything that is being said from speeches to evaluations. So at the end of the meeting, I'll be posing few questions to check how attentively they've been listening. So stay tuned.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to your questions towards the end. And that, Gabbys, is my 10 team. The evaluators, you will get to know more after the end during my journal evaluation sections. So now together we will help transfer this meeting from a scheduled program into a high quality intentional experience. So at the end of the meeting, I'll come back again with my report and my team members' report, not as a critic, but as a curator. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. So now we'll start with our episode of the speeches, prepared speeches. So our first character and first speaker is Toastmaster Archana Prajapati, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Toastmaster Archana, she's a consultant, anesthetologist, intensivist, and pain physician. Alongside her medical expertise, she brings a love for travel, art, and storytelling. Her passion for communication and personal growth makes her a wonderful addition to our Toastmaster family. So today, Toastmaster Archana, she is presenting the path presentation mastery level 5 project number 1. Project number name is prepare to speak professionally. Her speech duration, timer please note, it's 18 to 22 minutes. And speech title for Toastmaster Archana is I'm More Than This. I'm More Than This. Toastmaster Archana Prajapati, over to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening to all. Can I ask you all a simple question? How many of you are living a life that looks complete from the outside, but deep down, you know it very well, and you hear a voice that says, this is not all of me. Today, we are going to talk about that, this, what the world has already seen, what the world knows about you, and this, what the world has rarely seen and heard. Let me tell you a story about a woman who worked in an operation theater where the voices were supposed to be low. The emotions were supposed to be under control, and mistakes that were unforgiving. She learned it very early to be silent, to be invisible, and to be perfect. She was very good at it. She was an anesthesiologist, the calmest person in the room, a person who smiles when the monitor screams, a person whom everyone trusted. They trusted with their lives. They trusted with their unconscious self, unconscious bodies. And they even trusted for the moments they could hardly remember. But there was one person who didn't trusted her at all. That was her. One day, she was in her OT. One of the patients came in for a usual routine surgery. He was in his 30s, young male, fit. There was no major illness. He came for the gallbladder operation, the routine one. He lied down in the operation theater. The monitors started beeping. And then suddenly, he asked a question to her. Doctor, I will wake up, right? You will make me wake up, right? She smiled and answered, "Yes, of course, you will." But that question shifted something in her. She realized that that man trusted him completely with his life and asked herself, "Do I trust myself with my life choices? Do I trust myself this completely?" And this question lingered upon her, stayed with her the whole day, even in her car, at her home, where she has many other roles to play apart from being an anesthesiologist, a woman, an Indian daughter in law, a mother. Her life looked complete and settled from the outside. But let me tell you, this is not a story about struggles. This is a story about something far more dangerous. That is comfort. The comfort we have in our routines. The comfort which she had with only having one identity, for being known for one identity. The comfort of not risking our lives and not risking failures. And slowly and steadily, that comfort becomes a cage where she was. Now, let me ask you all something. Raise your hand if there's a version of you that feels extremely confident in one area of life. Now, keep that hand raised if there's another version that feels insecure, unsure in another area. Look around you. You are not alone. And it's interesting to see how many of us are expert in one area of our life and completely stranger to ourselves in another. And that evening, she realized she was exactly the same. Actually, that evening, she walked into a room that was full of people. No, there was no patient. There were no scalpel, no authorities. But there were people who were speaking. That was a Toastmasters meeting. But before she could enter the room, she heard some voices. "Stay there. Why are you going there? What's the need of doing it? You're already doing fine. Why do you want to do more?" "I don't want to do more. I want to do something for me." And that was the first time she didn't listen to her comfort. She walked into the room. But when her name was called in the meeting, her body reacted before her mind. Hands shaking and trembling, heart racing, and voice missing. No, that was not a silent. It was not empty. It was crowded. Crowded with fears, doubts. You are a doctor. Stay in your lane. What are you doing here? You're already at a position. Why do you want to speak here? "I just want to try." But what if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself in front of so many people? There was no answer. But suddenly she started hearing voices. "Say something. Say it. Speak up." Nothing came. That moment, she felt it was longer than any surgery she did. Can, can you imagine a woman who could handle emergencies, who could manage cardiac arrest, was terrified of something? A microphone. That night, I didn't cry. Yes, it was me. That night, I had several questions running in my mind. When did I become so small outside my scrubs? For years, I have numbed patients. When did I numbed my voice? And most of all, who decided to be a doctor is enough? In anesthesia, we intervene before the things crash. We are trained to monitor the blood pressure, heart rate, the oxygen levels, and we immediately intervene. But what in life? I ignored my own warning signs. And we often, all of us, ignore our own warning signs of fatigue, restlessness, that quiet emptiness, that feeling of something missing in our life, that voices that says, it's not enough. This is not all of me. And why do we ignore? We ignore it because the outside life, where we are, we have achieved something in our life, and that looks so complete, that looks so fine. Does it need anything more? That is one belief that holds us. And slowly and steadily, we become so expert in functioning. We wake up, we follow our routine, we meet expectations, and we stop expressing ourselves. And this is exactly where I was. Now, I want all of you to just pause for 10 seconds. Just for 10 seconds, no speaking. You can close your eyes and ask yourself this question. Where in my life am I limiting myself when I know I am capable of more? Just for 10 seconds, ask this question. Where in my life am I limiting myself? And there it is. That answer is the area where your growth is waiting. And that night, I found mine. I realized that I wasn't burnout. I was just silent. I was unexpressed. And that silence was safe, but it was costing me a lot. So I decided something really uncomfortable that day. I picked up this microphone once again. My voice still shaking, my hands trembling, my heart still pounding. But I spoke up again. And every time I spoke up, my inner critic, it came up. You are not good enough. You are not better than others. You forgot your lines. But slowly I learned that I don't have to silence that inner critic. Slowly I learned that I just have to stop listening to it. I just have to stop believing that inner critic. And every time I reclaimed a word, a sentence, a story of my failure, story of vulnerabilities, something magical happened that truly changed the way I looked at both the worlds. Both the worlds. Now, moving fast forward, another day in my OT, another patient, another surgery, another routine day. But this time, I was different. One patient came in the OT, again asked the same question. Doctor, I will wake up, right? You will make me wake up. This time, I don't look at a patient. I looked at a person who is afraid of surroundings, afraid of injections, afraid of everything going around. I just empathetically said, yes, you will. And I will be there with you whole time. And I said something that I would have never said before. I asked him to take a deep breath. Trust your body. Trust the process and just relieve. That smile on his face was not a nervous smile. That was a relieved smile. And I realized that it was not just my skill that made him feel safe. It was my presence, my voice. So here I am today. What I have learned, that you don't need to abandon who you are to become who you meant to be. Public speaking didn't make me less of a doctor. It made me more of a human one. A doctor whom patients listen differently, whom colleagues connected differently, and whom women are now looking up with possibilities. And when I am here today, I'm not choosing between this or this. I'm bringing them together because both of them are my identity. So before I leave you all here today, I want to give you something, a voice, not mine, yours. So I request every one of you to please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself, everyone. And when I say, I am more than, you just have to say this. Are you ready? All of you? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, we are.
So ready. I am more than
This.
this. Now think of yourself, the time where you are stuck. Think of the area which is holding you back. And now say it loudly. I am more than
This.
this. And now for the last time, like you mean it. I am more than this. I am more than
This.
my fears. I am more than what world has already seen about me, the version of me. I am more than my current role. And the next time when life asks you to stay comfortable, stay in your zone. When life asks you to choose, don't choose. Just expand yourself and remember what you have just said it today. I am more than this. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Archana. Can we have a big round of applause for? I was completely hooked on it. It's amazing. I think there were so many messages around it in the getting trapped in the comfort zone. We all can relate to it. And public speaking, being in part of the corporate, we have been doing great work, but at the same time, if we're not able to raise our voice, we are not able to take it to the outside world. Sometimes we really lag behind, and then we start questioning ourselves: am I doing enough? And I really need to support myself and not be the critics that I have been for myself, and be a different version. But at the same time, we are unique, and we have to accept ourselves and make the best version of ourselves. So with that, we can move to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Madhav Rakesh. Um, Madhav Rakesh, he is a fresh out of school, just beginning his college journey. He is the youngest member of our Gabbys, already making his presence felt with enthusiasm and intent. He has chosen to pursue biotechnology, and he is always eager to learn and more. He will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi. Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi is attempting L1 V4, which is providing evaluation in dynamic leadership path, and her evaluation will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rahul Swami. And can I get the confirmation both the evaluators are present?
Okay, Toastmaster Rahul Swami is not there in the meeting, so I'll pick up the role.
Okay, sure.
I'm here,
So, Toastmaster Madhav Rakesh, his path is dynamic leadership. He is attempting icebreaker speech today, level one, project number one, and his speech duration is 4 to 6 minutes. Timer, please note. And his title is Beyond the Comfort Zone. Beyond the Comfort Zone, Toastmaster Madhav Rakesh. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. If you had met me 4 years ago, this speech would not be happening. In fact, I wouldn't even be in this room. I'd be in the back corner, trying to blend into the wall, praying that no one, absolutely no one, asked me for the time. For the longest time, my comfort zone wasn't just a place, it was a fortress. It had high walls and zero Wi Fi for external visitors. I was a classic introvert, sticking to a tiny group of friends whom I had known for a long time, had the communication skills of a goldfish, and was perfectly happy with being invisible. Then the pandemic hit. At first, the lockdown felt like a vacation for my introversion. I retreated deep into my comfort zone, thinking I was safe. But as time passed on, weeks turned into months and months into years. The silence grew heavy. To be honest, it wasn't just about missing parties. I had lost the thread of who I was. I stopped reaching out to my close friends, and eventually, the notifications stopped popping up. The walls of my comfort zone didn't keep people out, they started closing in on me. It reached a point where I felt like a stranger in my own home. I would sit at the dinner table with my family and find myself unable to think of a single thing to say. The basic human communication skills had left my body. I felt estranged from the people who loved me, and there was terrifying realization. When the world finally opened up, I didn't feel free. I felt broken. I tried to talk to my old friends, but the gap was just too wide. I saw them moving on, and I stayed stuck in that cold, lonely comfort zone, viewing myself as someone who had lost the ability to belong. I realized then that if I stayed where I was, then the silence would become permanent. During this time, I found an unexpected lifeline: anime. I know it sounds trivial, but watching those characters, who often start as outcasts, push themselves to the absolute limit, gave me a spark of courage. I realized that if I wanted a plot for my own life, I had to be the one to write it. So, the first step I had taken towards that motto was in the ninth grade. When the ninth grade started, I felt like an alien. Corona had just finished and schools had started progressing with their topics. So now, on the first day, I promised myself that I would take one tiny step out of my comfort zone. One morning, I looked at my benchmate. He was doing his work, and then we were all completely focused in class. It was the absolute wrong time to do it, but then I voiced out. My heart was beating like a drum. I took a deep breath and said, "Hello." That one word sparked a friendship I cherish to this day. It was that crack in the ice that allowed the rest of me to thaw. The walls slowly started crumbling. I decided to treat my comfort zone like a suggestion rather than a rule. I started a yes plea. I joined the school choir. Now, do I have the voice of an angel? Absolutely not. But I met people and I made memories. I joined debates. Me, who would have normally been too scared to even stand on that stage, had now started taking on opponents who I've never met against, and they were ferocious, but I had learned a lot from them as well. So now I had also started taking up roles in various school functions, such as assemblies. I'd taken on the role of a host, and standing on that podium, I still remember that shiver that my body felt that day. That has never truly left me. And to this day, I still remember the blunders that I did on that stage and the memories made with my friends during that practice. And then the ultimate sacrifice, that school dance. Imagine the most awkward person, trying to attempt to move rhythmically in front of the entire school. It was unbelievably embarrassing. My face was the color of a ripe tomato. But as I stood there, I realized I'm still alive. The world didn't end. My comfort zone has expanded so much that embarrassment just didn't have the same power over me anymore. I stand before you today, not as a cured introvert, because being an introvert isn't a flaw, but as someone who refused to let fear define the boundaries of my life. I turned from someone who hid in the shadows to someone who actively seeks the light. Everything I wanted, friendship, confidence, and even those cringe dance moves stay with me to this day. And all of it was just waiting for me 2 steps out of that comfort zone. That's why I'm here at Toastmasters. I'm not done yet. I want to learn more, speak better, create even more memories. My fortress is gone, and in its place, there's an open door. So if you feel stuck or behind your own walls, take that first step. It might be awkward, you might look ridiculous, but the view from outside your comfort zone is worth every single bit. Thank you.
Can we all have a standing ovation for Toastmaster Madhav? It's his first speech. Congratulations, Toastmaster Madhav, for giving your first icebreaker speech. And what a beautiful speech. And I think we all can relate to the pandemic time that we all have been into, and how completely our life changed. And we thought that small things, the things that we were doing, we were not able to do at that moment. And then we realized blessings about small, small things that we didn't notice earlier, how when we were in that busy schedule. So definitely great lesson, and congratulations once again. Now we can move to our third speaker, and this is our Toastmaster Smruti Mohanty. I'm excited about this one. So she is a certified soft skill trainer, mentorship specialist, training content creator, and seasoned B2B enterprise sales professional with over a decade of experience. Her career is marked by a commitment to fostering personal and professional growth through communication, leadership, and learning. Within Toastmasters, she had multiple executive roles at the club level and has served at the district level and as a club mentor, club coach, and distinguished area director. She has recently secured first runner-up at the District 92 Table Topic Speech Contest for the program year. She views every role as an opportunity to learn, lead, and lift others. So today, her path is engaging humor. Her project name is Know Your Sense of Humor. She's attempting level 2, project number 1. Timer, please note her speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes, and her speech titled I Said Nothing. I Said Nothing, Toastmasters Smruti Mohanty. Over to you.
I need your help. For the next few seconds, I want each one of you to look at this geometrical shape and tell me, what am I feeling right now?
Worried?
Anxious. Anxious.
Stressed.
Yeah.
Worried, stressed, anxious. Exactly. But I said nothing. And yet, we just had a full conversation about my mindset. That is my problem. Some people, they speak their mind. Some people, they write their thoughts. And then that's me. Oh, well, sorry. Then that's me. I leak emotions through my face in HD with subtitles, occasionally with background music of ta-dum. Now picture this. A high-stake boardroom meeting. Serious faces, expensive suits, and zero jokes allowed. Well, that's not a meeting anymore. That's a personality funeral, I must say. One senior leader said quite confidently, let's circle back offline and deep dive this synergy for scalable alignment. I don't know about you, but I'm no longer in that particular meeting. I'm literally in a vocabulary escape room. Another person in the same meeting said, yes, let's double click on the same. That was it. Let me confess. When my mind fails to understand or catch a language, it starts laughing. So inside me, a full comedy show, standing ovation, and outside me, I said nothing. Well, this is exactly how inside me was working at that point of time. My lips tight together. My cheeks started shaking, my eyes watering, and my shoulder was negotiating a ceasefire. At this point of time, I did not look professional, definitely. I look emotionally moved by synergy. I tried to look down, making some note randomly on a blank paper when my boss said, Smruti, would you like to add something? Add something? I'm just trying to not add my laughter to my resignation. But I said nothing. Well, that day I had the longest conversation. That was the longest one-on-one meeting I had with my manager. Well, just when I thought my talent or this expression was least coherent in the boardroom, my face completely lost its coherence at family function. Clearly, my face, its expression, they don't respect boundaries. It performs equally well in boardrooms and living rooms. Now imagine another setup, a family function where food is unlimited and opinions. One polite auntie, she walks up to me and says, you have put on a little weight, just a little weight, but it suits you. Internally, excuse me, externally, I try to balance the sanskar and the sarcasm. Well, sanskar means our upbringing. I tried my best. Internally, my respect mode was activated. Externally, there was definitely a system failure. I said nothing, but my eyebrows, they went up so fast. They replied quite quickly. So again, it felt like, excuse me. Literally, my lips were negotiating between those jargons where that auntie, she paused, my mother stared at me as if I literally existed from that family WhatsApp group. But I literally said nothing, but still wondering why I'm always in trouble. But it was too late. My face had made all the possible damage. So I decided this must end. This should end, and this should end now. I have to master the poker face. I stood in front of the mirror, calm, neutral, controlled, 5 minutes later, I didn't look powerful. I looked like a pending download image somewhere in between. Still frozen, slightly concerning. I said nothing. And for the first time, my face also said nothing. It was terrific. Let me demonstrate you rather. I thought it was an upgrade because I tried to bring a balance between two emoticons. Something in between. Please quickly look at the chat. Something in between this and this. Where I tried to not have that crow's feet with extreme smiles and also tried to not to have a very sober face. I tried to bring something in between. Let me show you what. I tried to bring something like, that's my face saying, I said nothing, but I have thoughts. No, I have many thoughts which is parallelly juggling in my particular mind. And that's when it hit me. Moment of epiphany. We get it from mirror, we get it from smile, we get it from quietness. All this time, I was just trying to control my face. Silence it, train it, discipline it. But why? Because my mom said, don't show too much, stay composed, keep it within. But tell me, in the world full of filters, rehearsed ChatGPT conversations, and carefully managed impressions, maybe the most honest thing we have left is our expression. Because every time I said nothing, my face told the truth. Faster, louder, better. So finally, I accepted the truth. I am not speaking. I am just translating. My face is the real author. So I invite each one of you. Next time your face speaks about your words, don't hold it and command it. If you understood me, quite well. If you did not, because I said nothing. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmasters Smruti. What a speech. And definitely, I agree that our face, our eyes, and our expression, as well as our vibe, speaks a lot about us than what we are trying to say by words or actions. And we all can relate to the office environment, to our social gathering, to our family. Like what we do at the same time, what our eyes speak about it. Definitely, like they both have to marry each other, and then only things matter. So with that, we can take a short break and this episode's end, and we can move on to another episode after the break of 5 minutes. So let's enjoy 5 minutes break.
Can we have it for 2 minutes, please?
Okay. So let's be back by 9. Well, sorry, 8:30.
8:30. 2 minutes. Is the music audible?
No, it
No.
is not.
Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Yes, we are back.
So welcome back everyone. So just like the streaming platform keeps us all hooked after a pause, let's bring the same energy back into the room, and let's start with the next episode of the table topics. In a world where we skip content in second, let's see how our speakers they handle the instant thinking without skipping the skip button. So now a table topic will be handled by our table topic master, Toastmaster Nirmita Bhatacharya. She is a HR professional with 16 years of industry experience. She has been living in Bangalore for past 14 years with her husband and her 8-year-old kid. Originally, she is from Varanasi and she completed her schooling and college in Kolkata. She is passionate about traveling and cooking, and she finds deep fulfillment in leading a life driven by purpose. Over to you, Toastmaster Nirmita, for the table topic session.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Hello, my fellow Toastmasters. Good evening, and the guest. Before I move into this episode of Table Topic, I would like to say today's topic, linear TV or on demand, and the speeches, what we have heard was quite interesting, and I was just hooked up. Because as soon as we talk about the linear TV or on demand, that takes me back. I think most of us, we have some memories there. It takes back to me on that one episode where I was watching, sitting glued to the TV, where the leading lady was supposed to get married and her long lost husband have have to enter the scene, and we could see the step coming in. He was about to step into that wedding venue. Half of the body was shown, and the episode ended. So it was more about wait for the next episode and wait and see what happens there. So whenever we talk about linear TV or on demand, it's not about just the topic of TV, but it also talks about the structure of choice. And when I say structure of choice, it's more about waiting or instant access. Having said that, we all see that if you want to have a instant 2 minutes noodles or a well cooked chow mein noodles on the in the restaurant, so that's how it is. And that also brings to this particular episode of table topic, because it will be more like instant noodles or instant choice, where I will be giving topics and it will be in a debate format. So each and every one will be getting 1 minute to talk in for or against. Now, table topic, this section is more about developing the impromptu speaking skills. It's about every day what we do. There are situations where you have to think on your feet and have to talk about it. So this is the same thing where the topics will be given and you have to think over there and have to do impromptu speaking. And all the questions or the topic which I will be giving, it will be clear and coherent, very simple. And I will be asking two participants for the topic, someone who will be talking for and against. With that, let me start with today's first topic. Anyone who want to volunteer for it? Okay. If not, then I will be.
I
Sorry,
will speak. Desh.
I'm unable to see the hands actually.
Mm,
Okay. Okay. Divishri, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And against, who will be the second speaker?
you can pick up someone
I
if
can pick up someone,
We have
right?
a guest also today, Sunil, that
Okay. So let's have it. So, guess Sunil, that will you be taking it up? If not,
yeah, since the
then
format is a little different, first
yeah,
the Toastmasters and then you can call on the guest.
sure thing. Okay, just a second. I'm having some issue in seeing the names. So, okay. Uh, just to help me out, can you just call out the names because
Uh,
I'm
Kritika,
having some
Kritika,
issue.
Kritika Devashri, Toastmaster Devashri, and Toastmaster Kritika Kumari is there.
Okay, so Toastmaster Devashri, you will be speaking for, and Toastmaster Kritika, you will be against. The first topic is convenience making people less patient? Toastmaster Divyashree,
Yes.
for this topic. Is convenience making people less patient?
Yes, it is very coherent. Convenience making the people less patient. So whenever we are in a convenience and comfort zone, uh, the people started taking advantage, right? Whatever things they are doing, if they are in the comfort zone, uh, they won't get a patience. They want everything in a comfort manner. Whatever they want to achieve, they want as easy as it is. So if everything is convenient and comfortable, which they want to achieve, they lose their patience. If something really, if we want to achieve something, we need patience actually. So I strongly believe that when we are in comfort zone, we will be uh, uh, losing our patience and wish to get everything in a easy manner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
thank you so much. Toastmaster Kritika, against the topic. Is convenience making people less patient?
Um, as per my opinion, convenience is making people having those who are having some passion. So now, even if they have enough information, so they can now gain those information, and then they can focus on the right direction. So it is like convenience is making them if there's like if they have some uh, some purpose in their life. So if now we have enough information in net or everywhere, so we are not now limited for information. So we if someone want to achieve something, so they can with patience they can achieve. So it is helping them to for their success nowadays. Previously it like we were having patience, but we were not having enough information to succeed. But now with enough information, if someone wants to succeed in their life or in whatever way, so they have the right information, right set of tips available in online or any forum. And with
Okay, thank you so much. Time's up. Okay, thank you. Yeah, convenience is good to certain extent. Everything is balanced is good. That's good way of putting it across. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic. Shall I call a- anyone wants to volunteer? Otherwise, I will just take the names. Okay, so maybe Toastmaster Mamta Jain and our guest Sunil Dutt. If not, then Toastmaster Arvind.
I'm trying to understand what is happening. So here for the first time, go ahead.
Okay, so we are having the topics and it is a debatable topic. One of you will be speaking for and another one against the topic. So for and against. It's a debate for
Okay.
1 minute. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to take it up?
Yep, let's go ahead.
Sure. So the next topic, Toastmaster Mamta Jain, you will be speaking for in the topic, and Toastmaster Arvind, you will be talking against the thing. Okay. So the next topic is personalization using algorithms and recommendation helpful or limiting? Is personalization using recommendations and algorithms helpful or limiting? Toastmaster Mamta Jain, you will speak for.
Our smart TVs have solved this problem. They understand our algorithm. They know our choice, what we want to see. When we start our TV, they show us a lot of choices, and there are so many choices that it becomes difficult to choose what we want to see, and we spend a lot of time in scrolling, and finally sometimes it happens that we don't decide anything what we want to see, and we become so tired, we leave the space and we went to our bedroom and we want to take rest, because sometimes it is not good to that shows the algorithm decides what we want to watch on TV, but we should have our own.
Okay, thank you. Time's up. Over to you, Toastmaster Arvind. Is personalization using recommendations, algorithms helpful or limiting? Over to you.
I'm going against for this.
Yes.
Well, first of all, to start with, recommendations, algorithms are all based on multiple inputs that they have received. From my perspective, everyone is different. My choices of life, my way of personalization is entirely different than what the thousand and odd recommendation engines or algorithms can give you. So I would say, in one way, it is killing my innovation, my creativity, or should I say, it's somewhat limiting me to what they want me to do. It will just go ahead and showcase only what some of them or most of them have liked predominantly, and that's basically is what being thrown upon you as a part of helpful recommendation. And I feel it's limiting my ability to choose something different than what they are recommending. So my perspective, yes, it is limiting. It is literally killing my innovation, creativity, and a lot of other things that I might have imagined if I was not.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta Jain, Toastmaster Arvind. Yes, it's a very much independent thing, our choice, but algorithms, yes, it works differently. It's not just when we are looking at the option into the TV, but whenever you scroll, after that, the same things keeps on repeating. So somehow the diversified views and all gets restricted. That's my personal feeling. Now, moving on to the next topic. Uh, Toastmaster Yogesh and Toastmaster Bindu, would you like to take it up?
Yeah, I can take it up, but I'm in traffic. So can you hear me? Am I audible?
Now you're audible. Toastmaster Yogesh. Okay. Toastmaster Rahul.
Go to the next one.
Yeah. So anyone from the, yeah,
You can
anyone speaking? Sorry, Toastmaster Rahul, it was you?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, I missed that. Can you please repeat?
Yeah. So I say that, would you like to take a part on this?
Uh,
And
sorry, I missed the question actually.
okay, I didn't ask, I didn't give the topic.
Okay,
I will be
sure,
sharing.
I will.
Yeah. And maybe Toastmaster Rashmi, would you like to take up?
Yeah, I can pick it up. I'm
Okay.
Toastmaster Yogesh. I was trying
Okay.
to, work a look around these controls because I'm taking it from my phone over a browser.
Sure, no problem. So maybe it's between Toastmaster Yogesh and Toastmaster Rahul. Okay. Now I will be giving a topic. The next topic is, do too many options make decision making harder? Yes or no? So Toastmaster Yogesh, you will be talking about too many options make decision making harder, in favor of it. And Toastmaster Rahul, you will be talking against it. Do too many options make decision making harder? Over to you, Toastmaster Yogesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So I do agree that I'm against or
You are in favor of it.
yeah, I'm in favor of it. That too many options makes indecision. The reason I'm saying that is so when I walk into a store to purchase a cloth, so my requirement is very simple, right? Pick up a cotton shirt or a cotton polo t-shirt, which is comfortable, has some decent appearance. But what happens is when I go to a mall or go to a store like Zurio or or any other store like Van Heusen or Louis Philippi, the number of options are so much that I tend to forget why have I come to purchase what. And then it so happens I go through one cloth, it has a slightly different design, then I move on to the next one, then I go on to the next one and next one and next one. And finally, it becomes so difficult, to choose a cloth. But the requirement was very simple when I entered the store. Because I had so many number of options, I was compelled to look into each of those options to finally decide. And then even
Thank you so much. Time's up. So over to you, Toastmaster Rahul, against the topic.
I completely disagree with it that too many options create confusion and uh, you know it hampers the decision making. But I think that when you get so many options, just in case of corporate, when you get so many offers from so many companies, that's such a good thing, right? You are able to decide which one you want to pick and where you want to work. Even um, bonus point is you can negotiate salary better because you can say that you have XYZ offer and then you want this much at least in the next company. Then that's why too many options is a good thing and enhancing your decision for the next best opportunity. That's my thing. Back to you, TTM.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really like that, having too many offers that gives you the opportunity to negotiate. Me being in HR, now I know that, okay, to restrict people on having too many options in hand. Okay, great. Let's move to the next topic. And maybe I will call Smruti, Toastmaster Smruti. And uh, who has not
call
come yet?
Toastmaster Rashmi.
Toastmaster?
Rashmi.
Rashmi, yes. Toastmaster Rashmi and Toastmaster Smruti. Okay. The next question is instant gratification reducing long-term satisfaction. Toastmaster Smruti in favor of it, and Toastmaster Rashmi against. Is instant gratification reducing long-term satisfaction? Over to you, Toastmaster Smruti.
I strongly believe that perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can definitely catch excellence. But the moment we get instant gratification of the same, there comes the true hindrance. People, they do afraid of this terminology called the honest truth or the brutal truth. But I strongly commend, recommend, and believe that sometimes this brutal truth is important to progress in life. If I come here and deliver the best joke of my life, but it is not the best as per the set standard, but just to keep me happy, if my evaluator come and says, that was a brilliant speech, that gives me an instant gratification. But it is definitely going to hinder my progress because I might have some presumption in place. So fellow Toastmasters, instant gratification, maybe it's needed, but it's not good for our long-term growth. I rest my case here.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Rashmi. Against, is instant gratification reducing long-term satisfaction?
So, how many of you are fond of instant coffee, instant Maggie? Yes. So, I feel these things gives us immediate pleasure, and that's what it gives a dopamine rise, and we are able to concentrate on our work better. And when we do so, it helps us in the long run. It helps us to maybe achieve our goals. I remember when I was in school, I used to have coffee during exams. That would keep me awake. And when I was awake, I was able to study a lot better and thus perform better in my exams. So I definitely believe that this instant gratification, whether it comes through coffee or through a phone call, whatever it is, this instant gratification ultimately help you in achieving your long-term goals. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm very much fond of those instant coffee and Maggie, but yes, sometimes having some patience and waiting for the gratification that also helps to develop the individual. But thank you so much for your views. And here I go for the last topic. So if anyone wants to volunteer for the last topic, else I'm going to call out the names. So Toastmaster Sunil Gupta and Toastmaster Harshal Jadhav.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, here goes the last question. It's very much trending thing nowadays, technology which we talk about. Is technology improving the quality of life overall? Toastmaster Sunil Gupta in favor of it, and Toastmaster Harshal against. Is technology improving the quality of life overall? Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
How many of you use AI mobile phone to to prepare your speeches, to do your daily works? I'm sure most of you. So it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that technology has been improving our lives immensely. When just 2 years ago, when I was not used to of AI and other things, I used to write my speeches, my English sentences on notebook, and I was not able to check them whether they are grammatically correct or not. That's why until joining Toastmaster, I was not speaking properly, and I used to make lot of grammatical mistakes. But now as you see that I'm able to speak in English to some extent, not that level.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil. Time's up. Now over to you, Toastmaster Harshal.
Technology is definitely not improving the quality of life. No, it is not because of the technology. It is because the way we are using it. First, it is affecting our creativity. Whenever we think of writing something, how many of us would go to ChatGPT or Cloud or some other AI platform to help us with this? We always tell us that we'll just ask the AI to review it, and we end up telling the AI to give us the whole script. I've seen so many people while we are just doing calculations of numbers in tens, we are still using the calculator. It is actually wasting time and at the same time affecting our confidence. So no, technology hasn't improved our quality of life, not because it is bad, but because we are not using it properly. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's very true how we use the technology, but of course, we have the technology, that's why we can use it. That is also a very important thing to note. So, thank you, all the speakers, everyone, for sharing your views, your perspective, which was quite insightful. Considering, in this particular section or episode, if we see it's not about the right answer or wrong answer, it's about the perspectives, what we think, how it is helping us, how we want to go about it. It's about the choices. And that's what the today's theme is. What is your choice? Which one you like? With that, over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you to all the participants for great attempt and Toastmaster Nirmita Bhatacharya for interesting topics. We all enjoyed it and it was a great episode. So now we move on to the demand from on-demand thinking to real-time decision making. So with that, I'll hand it over to Toastmaster Renu Kaushal for the evaluation section.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. We'll begin the general evaluation section with the evaluation of the prepared speeches. So I will like to invite Toastmaster Sunil Gupta onto the virtual screen and the timer. Toastmaster Sunil Gupta is here to evaluate the speech given by Toastmaster Archana. And just I'll help you all to know more about Toastmaster Sunil. So Toastmaster Sunil, give me a moment. Well, I'm sorry, Sunil. We know each other much better, but I'll still take the help of your introduction.
Okay. I have to introduce myself. Okay.
Okay, you want to introduce your own self?
No.
Okay,
You,
I'm
okay.
available. I'm ready.
You
I'm ready to
introduce.
do it
No, I
now.
was waiting
Allow me.
what happened. That's why.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Just give you, yeah. Yes. So as we all know, Sunil Gupta, he just helped us know that he has a strong like desire to improve his communication skills, specifically in English. So beyond that, we all find him very enthusiastic, and he is again very enthusiastic about learning new things, just not to learn, but to evolve himself. And he has an ardent passion for playing cricket, speaking in English, strong believer in simplicity, integrity, and hard work. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Renu, before I start, I want a speaker here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now I start. Toastmaster Dr. Archana. I'm not a doctor, but luckily I am a Toastmaster like you. So I could enter a Toastmaster meeting with you with an air of fear of public speaking, the same struggles, the same diffidence about speaking publicly. You correlated my life, my Toastmaster life with you. Your objective was to deliver a long, polished, credible speech that would hold up in a professional setting, and undoubtedly you met the objective. Let's see how you did. What worked exceptionally well? First, structure. You opened with a question. How many of you are living their lives that look like outside lives? Had us all leaning in. And the body has 2 points about not trusting yourself and get out of comfort. And you presented both points very, you can say, dramatically with two patients' stories. And the conclusion tied back to the title and the message, I'm more than this. Second, your language and tone. The vocabulary you used was very simple, not jargon heavy, which made the speech more comprehensive. Phrases like inner critic fit the professional brief, and your controlled pace sounded like you are speaking in a boardroom, not a casual chat. Third, catchy statements. There were some catchy lines, some catchy statements which hooked me immediately. For example, one person didn't trust her, that was herself. And second one, public speaking made me less a doctor, but more a human. These statements, not mine, but also audiences, audiences to stop their phone watching. As you are about to complete your path, I have one recommendation. One can easily hold the audience attention for around 7 to 8 minutes at a stage, even if the speech is interesting or intriguing. However, a two-way interaction with the audience, you can stretch their interest and concentration up to 20 minutes. So when you ask the audience to close their eyes and think about their limitations, and after they open their eyes, you could ask them how did they feel, what they felt. So in this way, you could fill the time gap, and kept the audience engaged. To sum up, you delivered a very professionally a motivational speech with your structure and tone, and included some catchy lines. With audience interaction, this speech could have been much better, because you are much more than this. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunil, for that evaluation. Just there is one more thing. I think you have covered most of the points with respect to the content of the speech, but just I understand there is a paucity of the time. We just have 2 to 3 minutes, but I would just like you to challenge you in the forthcoming evaluations. You can touch upon, create a balance between the delivery part aspect of the evaluation as well as the content. We had number of things like the speaker had many recommendations, many call to action kind of things to be taken back, but there was nothing with respect to the delivery. I found that Toastmaster Archana could improve upon the pauses. She could introduce pauses in between the transitions where the transition between the different anecdotes are happening. She could play more with those pauses. And beyond that, I could see her using this claw gesture quite often. Maybe she could use some strong hand movements where she wants to energize and bring energy to her speech, right? So that way she can enhance her speech with respect to delivery. So for a keynote speech, the balance has to be there with respect to content as well as the delivery. And that is my take on your evaluation and Toastmaster Archana's evaluation. Congratulations, Toastmaster Archana, for completing your project successfully. Thank you, Toastmaster Sunil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunil.
Now we'll get over to the second speaker. And the second speaker for today was Toastmaster Madhav. And Toastmaster Madhav delivered his icebreaker speech, and that was being evaluated by Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi. Yes, we have her. And please note that Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi is also attempting her level 1 project 4 providing feedback. And her evaluation will be evaluated by Toastmaster Samita Kar. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Coming to my prospective speaker, Madhav, Rakesh. I guess kudos to you for your first speech. It didn't look like a first speech, nor were you nervous on stage like how you were in your college days. Very well crafted speech, but I do have some points ahead for that. So, coming to some of the good pointers with respect to your speech, it was a very well crafted speech. You had some proper anecdotes in terms of the different situations, be it the corona situation that actually came in the ninth grade, or be it the different situations where you had to come up on the stage, deliver a debate, and you also had to be a part of the school dance, right? Which was a bit embarrassing for you. But for me, it was a very well crafted speech. It had all the content to take it to the next level. So some of your strength area, which I could see from your speech, was good communication skills. You had a proper command on your language, and you also had good voice modulation. One recommendation there, if you can actually stand and deliver your speech, we'll be able to see your hand gestures, which I was not able to notice now. And as I also mentioned, you had confidence in your first speech and being it a leadership speech. Some of the recommendations which I would like to challenge you on for your next speech would be, it looked like as if you were reading the script from the system because your eyes were just looking at the script. I know it's a very first speech, but in order to challenge you further, I would recommend you do stand and deliver and don't read from the script. Okay. And coming to the main objective of your speech, it was an icebreaker speech, right? So I wanted to know more about Madhav. I know you did mention about the challenge with respect to the situation and the different, comfort zone that you wanted to come out from, but I didn't get to know more about Madhav. So how his journey has been till now. I guess if you'd actually touched upon that, it would have actually served the objective of the speech, which was an icebreaker speech. But to summarize it further, it was a well-crafted speech, being the very first speech. If you can actually consider the objective of the speech and then put together your speech aligned to that, would be helpful in your upcoming speeches. And if you could also work on some of the recommendations which has been provided, will be helpful to take your speech to the next level. But overall, a well-crafted speech, and good luck for your upcoming speeches. Yeah, thank you. And back to you, Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Lakshmi, for that crisp evaluation, and congratulations for completing your project as well. Congratulations to the target speaker, Madhav Rakesh, for successfully completing his first project. And first, I'll talk about Sri Lakshmi. Sri Lakshmi, I want you to challenge you to work more on the conclusion part of it. Let's bring all one point each from the commendations as well as the recommendations all together towards the end or the conclusion of your evaluation. It's just much like the evaluation speeches, much like the early, regular speeches, which has an opening, which has a body as well as a conclusion. So I would just challenge you, maybe in the upcoming speeches, you can practice more over that. And now to our youngest Toastmaster, the Gabbys. While I completely resonate with what Sri Lakshmi has said, that you had a very good control over your communication skills, and that I think you owe it to the regular practice that you had in the school and the ODM finish that you always had in the school and the various debates, right? And I could see a very good usage of English language, very good, phrases were used, and very limited use of R's and ums were there. So I will again go with what Sri Lakshmi has asked you to give your speech while standing so that we are able to see with your hand gestures more better. And yes, try and maintain a good eye contact with your audience. All the very best to your next speech. Looking forward to your next speech very soon. Thank you, Toastmaster Madhav. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, we are coming up with our champion speaker, Toastmaster Smruti, and her evaluator today, Toastmaster Rashmi Chamaria. Toastmaster Rashmi is a guest role taker today. We welcome you to the meeting, Toastmaster Rashmi.
Thank you.
And just allow me to read your introduction. Toastmaster Rashmi is a Toastmaster since the last 3 years. She is very passionate about arts, fitness, books, and spirituality. And she believes in becoming a better version of herself each day, and she is working towards it. All the very best to you, and over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Toastmaster Smruti, you said nothing, but you actually said a lot through your well-delivered, humorous speech. Your humor had a purpose, and that was a beautiful message towards the end. Now, let me talk about 3 things that I loved in your speech. First and foremost is a great audience engagement. Initially, at the very start, you came closer to the camera and you asked the audience to guess how you were feeling. Not only that, you asked them to imagine about a boardroom. And also you used chat box, which is like, I saw it for the first time that a prepared speaker has used a chat box to express herself. So that was all beautifully done. It helped us to stay hooked to your speech throughout. Second is the vivid imagery that you created when you spoke about the boardroom meeting and the family function, where you gave us a clear picture about your boss and how you were writing your notes, and also your eyebrows raised when you did not like something. So all this was so well described that actually the scene was very clear in front of my eyes. Thank you so much. And in terms of delivery, you were superb, Toastmaster Smruti. Vocal variety, you made sure that you gave a voice to each of the characters, the boss, your aunt, your mom. So that helped us to identify these characters. And it made your speech all the more interesting. Now, though you said nothing, Toastmaster Smruti, I have a few recommendations to give as to how we can improve on your speech. Your speech had all the elements that a good speech should have. However, a few changes here and there. Your message here was to be able to express yourself, why we shouldn't be holding on to our facial expressions. So I did not see the reasons. If you could share some reasons, some facts as to what happens if we do not express ourselves and why we should express ourselves, would give the audience, you would be able to convince them better to be better expressive. And second is, I would like to challenge yourself to create a 360-degree connect. Initially, you started by coming close to the camera and asking the audience to guess what you were feeling. So towards the end, when you're actually expressing yourselves, your expression, the real expression should come out on your face, and then you ask the audience again towards the end, now let me hear what you feel now. How do I feel? So all in all, it was a scintillating speech, Toastmaster Smruti. I just loved it. You had great audience engagement, vivid imagery, and good vocal variety. If you can bring slight change in the content and create a loop, your speech is truly unforgettable. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to hearing more speeches from you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi. I don't have many recommendations. Any recommendations for you? I think you covered all the evaluated Smruti's speech on all the points, whether it be the content or the delivery or the body language. I think all the things were covered well and on. The only one recommendation I have for you, please join our meetings more often. We would really like to benefit from your evaluations. And now coming up to Toastmasters Smruti, yes, evaluating a champion speaker is always a delightful challenge. So the question is not what worked, but how can we help her elevate her speech? So what I found was like Toastmasters Smruti, you use your dominant hand more. So somehow we were not able to see your other hand. Maybe you could bring it more force and energy with your using your other hand more, right? That was my only observation, our recommendation for you. Thank you so much for that delightful speech of yours. We really enjoyed it. And I really found that the laughter wasn't, it was not a stage, it was much felt. We all could resonate with it. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. With that, we come to the end of the evaluation section. And now we will move on to the next section.
One more evaluation left.
Samita
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Samita ma'am, are you ready? Thank you for
Yes.
reminding me.
So I'll be evaluating our evaluator, Sree Lakshmi, as this is her project. So my target speaker is Sree Lakshmi. What I loved is that you started with the commendation of what he has done well and how, being an icebreaker speech, he was able to come up not looking at all as if it was an icebreaker speech. Regarding evaluation, what we have to keep in mind is, since it is an icebreaker speech, the person has come on camera for the first time. So more of encouraging the person to take, because they have taken the first step. What I would suggest is take a full minute to highlight what has gone correct, how he has spoken, his stories, how they had interlinked with his personality, what had happened during COVID, how he has come out of it. All these stories we have to keep in mind. Second recommendation is that the child has only 12th standard. Okay, he is a Toastmaster, but I'm calling him a child. He has only till his 12th standard. So most of his story revolves around his 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, those 4-5 years. So when you're telling, I wanted to know more, be specific. I wanted to know more about your childhood days. I wanted to know more about while you were growing up phase. Be very specific in what you're recommending. Third recommendation is give only 1 or 2 recommendation max for him to follow very clearly. When you are giving more recommendations, then and it is difficult for him to grasp right now. Maybe 3 recommendation for level 2 or level 3 is okay, but not for an icebreaker speech. Use the sandwich method that works the best. First, you say what has gone right, then recommendation and a summary. Overall, you have done a good job. I would like you to take a further evaluations to hone your skill. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samita, for that evaluation of Toastmasters Sree Lakshmi's project. And once again, coming back to your recommendation also, it means the same, that if we can just basically like summarize all the recommendations together towards the conclusion, right? That will create more impact and more learning for the speaker. Thank you. And we had a really great evaluation session today. Let's clap for our all the evaluators in the room. They all did splendidly well today. Thank you so much, everyone. Now it's time to bring upon the TEL team, the other part of my TEL team, which helped me stay keep the meeting current. So bringing up first is the timer of the day. The timer of the day is Toastmaster Muskan. Toastmaster Muskan, please tell us about how we did in terms of time today.
Everyone did a great job. I would like to share my screen. Just a minute.
Were there any disqualifications?
You're mute.
Yes, one of my favorite is disqualified, unfortunately.
Oh,
just by 8 seconds.
okay.
So Sunil Gupta, the evaluator, is disqualified by 8 seconds. Apart from him, everyone done really well. Everyone is qualified. Thank you. I will just share this report in the chat.
Yes, thank you so much. Next, we have the language evaluator. Toastmaster Harshal. Toastmaster Harshal, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would like to share my screen. I think I need the rights to share the screen.
Muskan, can you please help us?
You have now. Please try.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's uploading. Yeah, now it's
Yeah. Yeah. So starting with the word of the day. The word of the day was used by three speakers: Toastmaster Nirmita, Toastmaster Renu, and Toastmaster Deveshri, one time each. So coming to the rhetorical devices, I would like to highlight few. That silence was safe, but it cost me a lot. Another one is communication skills of a goldfish. And one more is silence it, train it, discipline it. Some noteworthy phrases I would like to highlight would be: for years I have numbed patience. When did I numb my voice? Add something. I'm trying not to add laughter to my resignation. And there are certain recommendations regarding some small grammatical errors. I can't say I like this at I can't. It should be I can't say I like that. Why have I come to purchase? What have I come to purchase? So that's it. Over to you, General Evaluator.
So, thank you so much, Toastmaster Harshal. That was a very fine language evaluation report, and you did very well for the first time language evaluator. Let's join our hands in congratulating our language evaluator. Now, let me welcome on the virtual screen our listener of the day. We are all set for your questions, Toastmaster Yamini.
Yeah. So I would first like to say that I really enjoyed listening to all the speakers today, and I have a few questions for our Toastmasters and guests. So the first is according to our Toastmaster of the day, Inderpal, what is the statistics on people binge watching? If anyone can type in the chat box.
75%.
75? 70, yeah. Smruti, it's correct, 70%. So we go to the next question. Other than speaker Smruti, I would invite others to try this. So during the speech of Smruti, she spoke about an interesting thing in Indian society. There are two things which are unlimited, freely available in any Indian social setup. What are they?
Food and
This is open to
opinions.
everyone other than Smruti. Food. Good food.
Advice.
Yeah. Yeah, almost there. Food and opinions. Yeah. I think most of us have faced this. So going to the third question. Okay, this is I took from Presiding Officer Samita's evaluation. So what is the best method of evaluation that we need to use?
Sandwich method. Sandwich method.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Yeah, thank you everyone. So I kind of see that all of you have been active listeners, and I also enjoyed being part of this Toastmaster journey today. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yamini. And let's clap for our first time role taker, So, Yamini, I think this is your first role in the meeting today. Toastmaster Yamini, is it your
Yes,
first time you're taking
yes,
up a role in the Gabbys?
yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. But it created lots of interest. Like just with the paucity of the time, I'll quickly go about how the other role takers in the meeting did. Well, the sergeant of the arms, she started the meeting right in time. She was had a very like good start to the meeting, and followed by the presiding officer. She welcomed the new members, and she was very vigilant about that the role takers need to be renamed about them, and offered her help in case they are feeling technically challenged in renaming themselves. So, and she was again our evaluator. Now, the Toastmaster of the day. Yes, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Inderpal, you just really began your theme quite interestingly. You acquainted the audience with your theme, everyone very appropriately, not too many engagements, not too less, very appropriate engagements. You provided, I would say, yes. There's one thing, one recommendation I would say. I would just, if you could be just mindful with the names of the role takers. Before the meeting, if you can just read them through. It was not Nirmita, it is Nirmita, the tuber master, and not Nirmita. And again, I think you missed introducing Toastmaster Nirmita before her role. So that is just one recommendation for you. And I would just next I'll quickly go to the timer. She really did very well for her role, and so did the other role takers in my TEL team. And I would just say quickly that today's meeting, overall meeting, was just not well conducted, but truly coherent. Every segment connected beautifully, reflecting the thought and collaborations that goes beyond this screen. So thank you everyone who contributed, including those working behind the scene. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal, for wonderful led evaluation. It's quite thoughtful, and I'm sure we all will take back something which we can implement in our future speeches. Now, as we are nearing the end of our session, few things that I would like to connect to the theme. Like we all live in a time where content is endless, choices are unlimited, and attention is limited. So the real question is, are we choosing wisely? Because in the end, whether it's TV or it's live, we are all just one choice away. And the goal is also that we should watch stories that inspire us, entertain us, and connect us. Similarly, Toastmaster give us a platform to share our stories, whether scheduled or spontaneous. So thank you all for being part of today's broadcast. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and keep speaking. With that, I'll hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Samita, to take the final proceeding of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Let us hear it for our Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Inderpal Chadda. This is the first time you're being a Toastmaster, TMOD? Is this
Yeah,
the first time?
I did once 2 years back.
2 years back. So, welcome back. You did a fantastic job, and we would like to see you more on this screen. Another interesting episode is slowly coming to an end. And like every cliffhanger, the cliffhanger here is what are the results? But before we go to the results, for every meeting, we open the meeting room 15 minutes in advance. I request all of you to please join, and then we can have our audio video checks. We can have the background that we want to put in our screen or any other networking we want to do. So it's a request, join 15 minutes earlier. And now all of you are requested to please vote for your favorite. Today we won't have the favorite speaker as there was an icebreaker speech. And when we have an icebreaker speech, we do not have a best speaker. voting. And the best, I'll go with the table topic because that was quite interesting today. The best table topic speaker duo is Toastmaster Smruti and Toastmaster Rashmi. Congratulations to both of you. Best auxiliary role taker is our language evaluator, Toastmaster Harshal Jadhav. A coherent ending to a coherent word that we didn't use it today much. Next is best evaluator. Any guesses for it? No, not. It is Toastmaster Rashmi Chamaria. Congratulations for your impeccable evaluation. And best role taker is none other than RGE today, Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. With that, I declare meeting number 40 to a close. Good night. Have a good week ahead of you. Take care, and we meet again on Saturday for another Gabbys meeting, morning 10 a.m. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you